Hi, my name is Dan, and in this video I'm going to show you a way to replace the standard gun in the first-person template in the Unreal engine. This has come about as a result of a student inquiry. Um, uh, the the process isn't perfect, so it's not going to produce you a gun as good as the standard gun. But if you want to replace the gun, here is a way of doing it and getting something else in place. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use a bush instead of a gun, so it's going to look a bit silly. So I've got a standard first-person template here, and I've not added anything, but I've got the starter content in here as well. So I'm going to navigate down into the first-person blueprint, into blueprints, and get the first-person character. Okay. So if you're wanting to use your own gun model, you need to import that into Unreal. I'm not going to show you how to do that in this video. I do have another video on that, so go looking for that if you need it. So this is the blueprint class for the first person character. And if we look at the viewports, just click on that. These are the different components that are in the class. We've got an arm, we've got a gun, we've got another gun. So this lower gun is the gun that's used if you're in virtual reality. So it's a VR gun. And we've got a camera and a collision box and various other things. And what we're going to do is we're going to hide this gun, which is the normal first person gun, and we're going to piggyback off that gun with our own model. So the problem in doing this replacement is that, so once we've highlighted that, we can mouse over it and see that it's actually a skeletal mesh component. And if you open up that skeletal mesh component, there's all sorts of stuff going on in here, and you've got a skeleton, and then you need to open up the skeleton, and you've got all the different bits here. What we're not going to do is we're not going to mess about with that, because skeletal meshes are complicated. And we're just going to do a simple thing, which is going to replace this gun with our own gun, or in this case, with the bush. So the first thing we're going to do, having highlighted the gun here, is to scroll down on this side and find the rendering section. Looking for rendering, it's higher up than that. Here we go. And I'm going to click the hidden in-game box there. So that means when we play the game, that gun should disappear. In fact, tell you what we'll do very quickly. We'll uncheck that in compile and just have a quick look at the gun as we play. It moves, but it's a skeletal mesh because there are some animations to do with reloading and stuff that are involved there. Yeah, back we go into here. So we're going to do that thing that I said and make it invisible. So we've got the gun selected, yes, hidden in game. And let's just quickly test that. And we should have the hands, but we can't see the gun. And what we're going to do is we're going to stick a gun in place so that it looks like we're using the other gun. Back in. So we've got this highlighted, and we're going to add a component. And the component we want to add is static mesh. So that allows us to bring another mesh in here, and I'm just going to call it my gun. And then over here on the right-hand side, I'm going to select the mesh that I'm going to use. And in fact, as I said, I'm going to use a bush. So I'm going to type that in. That's kind of now big and in the way and in the face of the player. So if you compile that and use that, you'd see that we've kind of got a bush in our face, which is not what we want. But it does move when we fire, so it's got that recoil action. And the reason for that is because we've attached it to that invisible skeletal mesh gun. So some of the motion that's involved in that will be transferred to the new gun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shrink this down and point it in different directions. So I'm going to start by changing the rotation and point the gun forwards. 90 degrees, there we go. And then I'm going to use the scaling tool. And let's go there. Highlight the middle block of that scaling tool so you can shrink the whole thing at once. That's, yeah, we'll see that. That's kind of roughly the same size as the existing gun, but kind of sticking out the sides. Compile that and have a quick look. There we go. So now it looks like we're holding a gun, and if we're shooting something, It looks like we're using the bush to shoot with. Okay. So you can create your own gun meshes. You might need to mess about a bit with the size and the location of that to get that perfect for you. But that's a reasonable substitution if you want to get your own gun in this. So that's it from me for now.